Well, hello, you. Welcome to another very special episode of Adopted Geordies. I'm Andy Jaye, and I am delighted to tell you we have an incredible guest, a guest that many of you have been clamouring for since a cameo appearance just a couple of shows ago. Now, before we get into him, let me just thank you for all of the interactions that you guys have been giving us. We asked you, we explained it's the currency of podcasts a couple of episodes ago. We said your likes, your subscriptions, your follows, your interactions on socials, and obviously your comments on the episodes themselves all make a difference. And we've been rising. And thank you, those of you that are doing it. We see it. Thank you. Keep on it because we love it. The captain, Mr. Rob Lee, is here. He will thank you personally when he meets you in the streets. But it gives me great pleasure to welcome the Northeast's greatest, and you can fill in the blanks with so many things here. We can start with most successful pop star. You might be thinking Sting, you might be thinking Sam Fender. No, we've gone one better. The man who spent more time at number one than anyone else from the Northeast, the man who has done countless incredible TV shows, a man who's been supporting the club for longer than even Rob has been alive. It is the marvellous, the greatest export of the Northeast, Mr. Robson Green.
Oh,
Wow,
God.
what an intro.
Andy, thanks for the build-up. I apologise now for the anticlimax. Oh, man.
Robson, I'm saying this because when we put the clip out of you at the end of the Dan Byrne episode, there have been so many comments talking, oh my God, Robson Green, oh, I'd love to get him on the show, get him on the show, get him on the show. And here we are.
Wow, what a privilege, what an honour. Thank you so much. That's amazing. And it's all true. It's all true. I was on the top of the pops forever. We used to go into the bar and say, could we have the usual, please? 8 weeks at number one, then 5 weeks at number one, then 6 weeks at number one in the Guinness Book of Records for the fastest selling single in the history of British popular music. And all I'm going is, I'm an actor.
It's crazy.
But what do you do? What do you do when Simon Cowell goes, if you sing a song, I'll give you £1 million? I started gargling. I started doing arpeggios. What do you do?
Well, Rob's looking for his number now. I mean,
Hang on,
I could
wasn't
sing.
it- but who were the footballers who sang the song? Glenn Hoddle
Glenn
and Chris
Hoddle,
Waddle?
Chris
Didn't
Waddle,
they
yeah,
sang a
yeah.
song.
Diamond
didn't they?
Lights.
Diamond Lights.
Diamond Lights,
Is
yeah.
that number one?
No.
didn't have Robson in.
No, exactly.
There was no Simon Cowell
It was
involved.
popular.
Yeah, they shouldn't have self-produced.
Yeah.
They were ahead of their time.
Yeah, it was.
Still very popular on MySpace, however. So, Robson, let's get straight into the heart of it. We've got so much to discuss, whether it's acting, whether it's life in the Northeast, whether it's life as a broadcaster, presenter, advocate for the nature and the world around us. But let's dive in first and foremost, because we are ultimately a football show with Newcastle United. It's the one thing the three of us all love, all have in common, is this beloved club of ours. And you're not a fake fan. You're not a fair weather fan. You're a born and bred, thoroughbred, stood in the stands, in the highs and the lows. You just love the club.
I love it. I love it with a passion. It is my go-to. It is my therapy. It is the greatest piece of primal theatre you will ever go to. And I was fortunate enough to go to St James's Park on August the 21st, 1971, to watch Newcastle play Liverpool, and it was Malcolm MacDonald's debut. He scored a hat-trick, and he was then chanted. The name came out as Super Mac. And it was a day I never wanted to end. And what other occasion, what other piece of theatre, what other interaction with any kind of medium makes you have an out-of-body experience when you react to a goal or a win? There's nothing like it. We were just talking earlier about, I've met the great and good of Hollywood. I've been to the Oscars. I wasn't nominated. I was just passing. Can I get in? I sneaked into the Oscars. Seriously, and I met everybody. It was amazing. But none of them make me go crazy like footballers do, like Rob when he scored the hat-trick against Antwerp, like Asprilla against Barcelona, like Malcolm MacDonald in 1971. There's something extraordinary about the occasion, the sense of belonging, the sense of identity, the sense of theatre and place. And you get a sense of who you are because of football. I do. I think it's life-changing.
It's really interesting what you say about meeting footballers, because obviously we've had several famous fans on the show before, and they all have that same thing, which is they can meet Tom Cruise, and it's kind of cool. It's still Tom Cruise, but they meet Rob, they meet Alan Shearer, they meet David Ginola, and it's weak at the knees, can barely speak, clam up in the mouth. What is it about footballers? Is it because we all grew up wanting to be them, do you think?
I think they're heroes in the true sense. I mean, you think about Newcastle United, one city, one club. Newcastle was built on coal. Miners worked hard. And my dad used to always say, work is a word that's not meant to be enjoyed. That's why you call it work. So do something that you love or experience something that you love, and work will feel less like work. And so one of the things a lot of miners did, certainly from my village, was look forward to when Saturday comes. And it was always the match, and they always talked about it. And it always meant a lot to them following that team. And when the team's doing well, you're doing well. The city's doing well. Everybody's doing okay. And you get that lovely serotonin dopamine release. So I think the reason why, when I meet Rob, I'm tongue-tied, or the first time I met Alan Shearer, the first thing I said to Alan Shearer when I met him, Alan, you've got massive thighs. The first thing I said.
Oh how did he reply to that?
He's going, "You all right?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm okay." And my voice is going high, and I'm trying to bring the timber down. "You all right, Alan?" "Yeah, great game." And then my mind's going, "Say something interesting and windswept, Robson." And I just went, "So you have to play football?" And he was being really generous at night. And I've calmed down a lot because I know Alan a bit more, and I've done a couple of programs with him when I've met him. And it's because they're heroes in the true sense, and how they make us feel. It's the theatre. It's how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
It's not what you do. It's not like a 9-to-5 job. You're going to a piece of theatre, and you have this reaction to the club, whether it's a good reaction or euphoric action. You have this feeling when it's good of euphoria. And we talked about it earlier, the dopamine release, the serotonin, this cocktail of chemicals that goes through your body when you experience the game. It just makes you feel good, and you want more. You want more all the time. So when I saw Malcolm McDonald score that hat trick, I wanted more. And all I thought about was when Saturday comes. That was it.
How's your relationship changed with the team, with the club, since you've grown older, since your fame has changed and become more famous and more well known for other things? I still have childhood memories, obviously, of watching people like Rob, and footballers were just like, but they were also enormous because they were grown men, and you were a young kid and you were watching. However, obviously, you and I now watch, we're older guys, we're a lot older than the players that represent the team now, but a couple of weeks ago, I introduced you to Dan Byrne, which we saw on the show, which was
Went
lovely.
to pieces.
Were you still a bit like...
Still nervous.
Were you?
Well, so here's the thing. It had been 54 years since I'd seen Newcastle win anything of any merit. 54 years. And the last time we won the league, 1926. King Harold still had 2 eyes. I swear to God. So it was 54 years. I get a ticket for that League Cup final, and I can't go because I'm working for the BBC and they won't let me go. So I watched that on a phone. And obviously, it's the first time I'd ever watched football surrounded by a group of people who we were making a piece of TV who had no interest in football. And there is an outtake when Dan Byrne heads it in, Shearer-like quote, and then you get that, "Was there a man for whom it was so obviously written" quote, that beautiful quote about Dan Byrne. And I go nuts. And the sky's blue with language. And there's all these other people who don't know what's going on, who just think I'm weird because of the reaction. And that occasion, that moment, what that did for me, what that did for my brother, what that did for my family, what that did for the city. When you scored your hat trick against Antwerp, what that did for the fans, and we take that away, we don't forget. We don't forget those moments. And so when you meet those people who give you that reaction, no actor does that.
Do you think that's more Geordies though? Do you think it's more? Do you meet actors that are sort of like support Liverpool or Man United, and they're as passionate as you are when they meet them?
Yeah. I've got a really good mate of mine, Rishi Nair, Man U fanatic, and he goes nuts. He goes nuts, and he idolizes the players. He knows a lot more about football than I do. He's really good at playing. When I played football at school, I was described as a delinquent kicking about a pig's bladder. And Mr. Thompson, who used to be the school teacher, used to go, "Green, get off. Totally ineffective. Totally ineffective." And so it's the reaction.
It seems to me like every time I meet the famous Geordie actors, or they're all just mad Newcastle. You know what I mean? They're just mad at Newcastle. But I don't know, because I'm living down in London. Someone supports West Ham. They're not. Yeah, they like West Ham, but not quite as passionate as
Why
the
do you
guys.
think that is? You think that's one city, one club?
I find that ever since I came up to Newcastle, even the normal fans, just so passionate about Newcastle. And
Yeah,
I find all the celebrities, they're still so passionate about Newcastle.
I think it's because as Newcastle fans brought up, we know what it means to the city. You know, I think because it's the working class city. From if you go like you talked about the miners,
Mhm.
you know, we've all got miners in it. My great grandfather was a
Mhm.
miner. You know, we all have miners in our lineage, right? So we all know there was a really famous phrase that I think has been applied many times, which is that if you win at the weekend, everyone shows up to
Yeah.
work on Monday, but if you don't, it can affect the attendance of work. You know, you lose on Sunday. Monday, there's not as
Well, I
many
think
people that
when
show up at
even
work.
when we were playing, you go out if we've won, you go out in town,
Mm.
the whole town is happy. The
Yeah.
whole town is happy for the next until we play again. And if you lose or you don't get a good result, then it's the whole town seems to be like a downer sort of thing.
Is that right? Well, I
Yeah.
spent 54 years. You know, my dad, God rest his soul, he was around in the 50s when Newcastle were playing fast flowing attacking football. He saw that. We lifted, I think it was 3 FA Cups. We
Yeah,
lifted
we
that.
were good.
We were
Yeah,
really, really
yeah.
good. I'd never witnessed that. I was too young to remember the Fairs Cup. So nothing. Yet we played the beautiful game when the Keegan years.
We did,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Didn't honestly I didn't really matter that we lost the 12 points lost. We were playing the beautiful game and we were called the entertainers for a reason. But I'd never experienced that feeling
Mm.
of winning something, of merit. And then I witness it on
On your phone. Yeah.
And here's the thing. When we won the League Cup, I was just so moved by it. And I just needed to phone people. I need to phone. I'll ring my brother. First time I'll ring my dad. I'll ring my dad. And my dad had died in 2009.
Oh God, yeah.
And I just went. I just went because that is the one thing during my whole life in football, when dad passed away, I missed just from those childhood precious times of holding his hand, going up the steps to that theatre of dreams. I missed that so much. And I wish I had been with dad, whether it was watching the TV or watching it on a phone or just being with him, because I know how much it would have meant to him and his ilk and the whole community. That remind, you guys remind us why we love the club so much.
Yeah.
It was an amazing moment. And that's why still today I get very nervous meeting footballers.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I completely align with that. You know, my love of Newcastle, obviously my parents are Geordies, grandparents are Geordies and so on. But there's one granddad who was such a staunch Newcastle fan, you know, and he became my best mate. And really, I started this show because of him, almost as in tribute and honour to him. You know, he's long dead, but I think of him every day, every match. He's there by my side. He's in the seat next to me. You know, I'm almost getting emotional thinking about it. I've told Rob about it before. It's that deep set connection, isn't it? It's that sort of, it's in your blood. You know, that sort of passion and love when you've been raised to love something and seen someone you love it so much and you fall in love yourself. You know, and I'm seeing my own little lads fall head over heels with the club now as well. You know, I was at the final. I didn't have to watch it on my phone. We were really lucky to be there. Yeah. And I was quite numb when we actually won it, but my instinct was to FaceTime my boys who I couldn't get in, but they were all watching on telly at home, and I had to make them part of it. I had to show them the crowd and what was happening and the people crying, and this random Geordie who was sat next to me who I didn't know, who became my best friend. You know, for 100 minutes we were bosom buddies.
I go to games and I go to the games at Exchange Park and I see them all singing the flags. I get my phone out and and I send it back to my lads. You know what I mean? Both Newcastle fans, but born up here.
And do you think that people watching that game against Liverpool, if you weren't a Liverpool fan, everybody wanted Newcastle to win?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even players of like, you know, Forest players and Steve Stone, and they all wanted us to win the league.
Is that right?
Everybody bar Man U wanted us to win the league. Yeah.
To win the league? We were talking. Robson was talking about the final, but you're talking about the entertainers.
Yeah. Everybody wanted us to win the league. Yeah. I think Newcastle's like, ever since the entertainers, I think people like Newcastle.
Yeah.
Might not be their first team. I get loads of people come up to me, and I've said it before, and I said, they come up to me and say, "Wow, we love the way you play football. I don't support Newcastle, but we just love the way that you played football."
Wow.
And
so
I think that means a lot. You know, I mean, that means a lot to me when I people come up to me and say.
But you know, it's just amazing moments like you know you remember, and you have the profound effect on the fans that I don't know if you take it for granted, but you know your hat trick, 3 against Antwerp, and you were knocking them in. I think it was every game you were scoring. I think 6 games, 6 goals, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had 12 by November. I think I was. I was top goal scorer, would you believe, in midfield in front of Alan and people like that, which he hates, by the way. I must admit, he did catch me by the end of the season.
He made up for it eventually, yeah.
Ended up with 13, I think.
And it's like, yeah.
I had a good spell when I scored a fair few, yeah.
So
yeah.
during that Antwerp game, it was a 5-0 massacre against Antwerp, and my dad was there, and we were there on the trip, and they were everybody had a bet. Everybody put £10, which was a lot of money in 1994. They put them in the pot, and they're all getting, guess the score and the time of the first goal or the time of the last goal. I can't quite remember what it was. And there was a lot of us, about 60 people who were putting tenors in, and then it went, put a 20 in. So there was quite a bit in the pot. And my dad went, oh, Dad, bet 5-0. So my dad bet 5-0. He came away with 680 quid.
It's amazing.
And Rob got a hat trick.
Who would put 5-0 on the... And I remember Kevin Keegan. I've never done team talks at all when we was playing. And for the first European game in 27 years, I think it was, he did a team talk. And we're like, all the lads like, this is weird. And it's him and Terry sort of like sitting in chairs like this, and we're all team talks. Gaffer don't do team talk. He went, lads, listen, he said, we've won the European Cup, me and Terry. He said, you lot have never played in Europe. So we're like, all right. And he went, what you got to do, we do at Liverpool. We used to get a nice 0-0, get them back to Anfield, beat them. All right, Gaffer, yeah. And everyone remembers the game. We were 2-0 up in 2 minutes, I think. Yeah. Won the game. At half time, I just remember him coming at half time with 3-0 up. And he's just like that. He's going, Terry, they never fucking listened. And I swear to God, that's what he said at half time. And that was our sort of like team. We ended up winning 5-0. I think the second leg we won 5-2.
Yeah, it was nuts.
10-2.
So if Keegan's not, because I'm just trying to get my head around the fact that Keegan didn't do a team talk for most games, but was there someone in the dressing room?
No, he'd stand up. And he'd sort of, but we'd never do like corners, free kicks and stuff. Keegan would never go into that.
But what, you not do set plays?
No, never.
Sorry?
Never. No, it'd be, if you're playing well, take one sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was always. And he always said to me, he said, I questioned, like, bloody hell, how do you get this? And he said, obviously, I buy good players. And he said, I'll just let them play. Which is, I think, what we lack these days. Some I think managers these days buy players, and then they try and change them into what they want. He said, I just buy a player that I like, and I just let him play. What's the point of me changing him?
Where did the shorthand come from? Do you know what I mean by that? Because I'm watching the team at the moment, and against Man City, they were reading the offside wrong. Elanga was missed time in the pass, and I love the players. They've all got the ability, but what seems to be missing that I'm witnessing at the moment is shorthand, is understanding where each player would be. Like yourself and Beardsley, you'd get the ball and you know exactly where to go. It seemed like in those days, in the entertainers' day, there was a shorthand there, like Man U used to have.
Yeah,
like those youngsters. Yeah, they used to have all the time. You'd know where each player was, and you had an understanding.
I don't know if that comes from. We always played 4-4-2, always in those days. And by the way, it will come around again. Everything comes around again in football. So 4-4-2 will come around again. Which I think
we need a really good 4-4-2 side.
Yeah,
we are missing a 4-4-2 side in the Prem.
So everybody knew, and we only had Keegan only used 16, 17 players. I mean, they have squads of 30, 40. We had 15, 16 players.
Well, Chelsea have got 600 players in their squad.
So we actually knew if everyone was fit, this is what our team would be. So but it was never sort of like, right, what do you do with, there was no patterns of play basically. So once we got past the halfway line, Keegan used to say, go and entertain the crowd, and that's what we did. So
wow. I produced a play about that season. It was called A Beautiful Game, and centered around a family who were witnessing that season and the profound effect that you guys had on the family in their relationships.
I didn't get a part in that.
You what?
I didn't get a part in it.
We were looking for somebody taller.
Ginola.
I remember Keegan couldn't make it. I asked him if he would come, and he couldn't make it, but he signed the script. And I've got quite a few footballing autographs, and my first one was Malcolm MacDonald. As I said, he came to the school, my primary school, after he scored that hat trick. Not directly after, he was opening a laundrette opposite the primary school, and he came in, and we were having free dinners. Me and another famous footballing Geordie called Andy Sinton. We were in the same school. Andy went on to play for England, Tottenham Hotspur, QPR, and everything. And Malcolm MacDonald came in. And he signed a piece of paper for me, and I thought, my God, that is amazing. And then later, that was my first autograph. And then a few years later, Muhammad Ali came to
Whoa.
Newcastle, and my mum was a cleaner. Dad was a miner, mum was a cleaner, and she was cleaning the Holiday Inn rooms, and I got Muhammad Ali's autograph to Robson Green. And then I got Kevin Keegan. I'm interested, who was your first autograph? Footballers.
My first, I think it was a guy called Keith Coleman, and he played for West Ham. Because I was obviously, my era was West Ham, sort of like it was Trevor Brooking, Billy Bonds, all that sort of. And he did he gave me a medal when I was 6 or 7, and I got his autograph. And that was the first one.
He could obviously pick
ever.
a player, couldn't he?
Hey?
Eh? If he gave you a medal, he must have seen something.
Yeah, I think it was Clubman of the Year. I think it was in those days.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was my first. I'm sure it was the first ever one. Yeah.
And there was that, and then it was Larry Grayson after
Brilliant.
Larry Grayson. But I mean, that's how important it was. I don't know, when autographs meant something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
It was before selfies, isn't it? It's before cameras, you know. And
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
yeah, it was your keepsake to show I met them. This is the proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I think autographs are disappearing because people are getting selfies and going, look, although AI is going to change all that as well soon enough, isn't it? But
But it's
it's
interesting what
special.
you said before about the games. I think it's precious now
yeah,
with Newcastle. I think it's still precious. You know, Champions League, and we're still at times playing wonderful football, and you know, during that 54-year period when we were winning nothing, the thing that there was an image that summed it up for me. There was everybody going up to the steps, and they've got their black and white tops on. Obviously, they've got a Spreer on the back and Shearer.
good times.
Was it Rob Lee or was it just Lee?
Just Lee,
It was
yeah.
just Lee.
The cheap
Yeah.
one. 3 letters. That's all it was.
And one of the best.
Man of people
great
come up and
value.
say, "Oh, I had Lee in the back." Yeah, I know why you had Lee. Yeah, it was the cheapest one again. My mum won't
He's
pay
not
more
wrong.
than that.
Had to be short sleeves and Lee.
It's Lee or just Lee.
The best one I ever saw, and we hadn't done anything for 54 years in my lifetime. There's this 12-year-old kid going up, and on the back of his black and white top, he's got no word of a lie. I hope we win something before I die. Oh, God.
Poor lad.
To God.
And we did. Yes.
Yeah, lucky him.
Except he got hit by a bus the next
Stop
day.
it. Yeah.
Slightly awkward thing. I mean, let's talk about this team now, because obviously we know you go to games because I saw you at a game just a couple of weeks ago. So that people know, as we record this, we've just unfortunately crashed out against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. It was always an uphill battle, but that's where we are. And tomorrow we play Brentford in the Prem. So as things stand, we're sitting 11th in the Prem. We're still in the Champions League. We're still in the FA Cup, although we've got to go away to Villa, which is not easy right now. So it's not the best season right now, but we're seeing glimpses, aren't we? What's your read on how things are going in Eddie's lads?
Just correct me if I'm wrong. Brentford beat, because I'm going to Brentford. So the next game's Brentford.
Yeah.
Brentford beat Villa, didn't they? Did they beat Villa recently?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
year.
they did.
Brentford,
Yeah, they did,
Brentford
yeah.
a good
So
side.
that's sorry. We
Yeah.
need
Good attack.
and you know, Champions League is good for us. It's interesting from a footballing point of view. Again, I know very, very little about football. What I'm interested in is the psychology and mindset of players, and it just seems to me, that you can't blame Eddie Howe for not reading the offside line. You can't blame Eddie Howe for not being able to tap a ball into an open net. You can't blame anything else when Willett can't get it by or Gordon. And they're fantastic players, don't get me wrong. Love them.
Mm.
What's happening to the mindset? Is it the mood? Is there something going on in the dressing room? Where's the lack of confidence come
Yeah, but that's the thing.
because 9 times out of 10 they'd score.
That is confidence, and confidence is going to hit best player in the world, you know, or average player. I mean, when I came to Newcastle, I was an average right winger, I think, and Keegan was the one that gave me the confidence to go and be a better player. And he always said to me, you can play for England. After two sessions, he said to me, you can play for England.
You're joking.
And I'm like, hang on, I'm Charlton here. I was like, I'm a right wing. I'm okay. I played twice for the 21s. Was never in any youth team, so never even got near England. He went, you'll play for England. I'm like, he's mad, by the way. But the way the confidence he gave you, when I used to go playing for Newcastle, I felt 10 foot tall. I felt I could play against anybody. You know, that's what he made me feel. But it comes from winning games. We used to win, you know, certainly under Keegan, and we won most games, and that gives you a even if actually one of the games you don't play well, you still feel confident because you've won again, and then you go again, and all of a sudden, next game you might play well. And he was one that said to me, he said, "You can't play well every game, Rob." He said, "Nobody plays well every game." So he said, give the ball to the players who are playing well. So if Peter's playing well, Peter is playing well one game, give him the ball. He said, next week it might be you. But he said, what you can do, you can run your nuts off and get him the ball, and get Ginola the ball is playing well. And he said that's football. Everyone wants to play well every single game. I did as a kid. I want to be the best player every game. But you can't. He said you can't do that. And that's what I learned. So some games you think, oh, I'm doing okay, but not. But he's playing really well, by the way. So
yeah. I mean, I'm guilty as charged. When Colaccini came, I thought, what we bought here? Useless. Joe Linton, we all know, guilty as charged. I went, what's he doing here?
Yeah.
What is he doing here? And we've seen the amazing transformation of those players and others. Can the same happen to Big Nick? Can the same happen to Wissa? Can the same happen to Alanga?
Well, Nick started in the right way, didn't he? I mean, he was
did,
fantastic to start with.
Worked him out, I think.
I just don't. Yeah, I've always said that when we bought him, he's not a centre forward. He was playing centre forward, but he's not really a centre forward by his own admission, by the way. But he's 6'7".
Yeah.
Is he a number 10? We don't even play a number 10, so you know what I mean. So I would say, why has he came to us? Are we going to change our system? Which I don't think we do, because Eddie Howe's never changed his system. But again, I think all players can. I've seen average players become well beaters, and I've seen great players become terrible at St James's Park. So, and I just think it's down to winning games. Winning games gives you so much confidence.
Well, let me ask you both this, because you've both watched more football than a lot of our viewers. There's this sort of online backlash at the moment against Eddie Howe. Now, I'm not hearing this in the stands, and I'm not seeing it.
I don't know why that is.
It's keyboard warriors, probably. It might be Sunderland fans, or it might be people with a genuine point, and I'm not going to argue against them. It might be people saying, well, hang on, where's his plan B, and why didn't he set up, why did that team have to be changed with so many subs and all this, that, and the other, and why are we predictable with the 60-minute, 70-minute, 3 off, 3 on, and so on, but they're going into the same position. There's people know my feelings about Eddie Howe. We've had the privilege of having him on the show. I met him a few times. I love him to bits. I think he's the best thing that's happened to this club for a very, very, very long time, and I hope he stays for a very long time. Yeah. But there's a lot of people online that don't agree with me. So where do you guys sit right now? Is Eddie the man to champion us? I'd have him for the next 20 years.
Right.
But that's me. I would not argue against someone with a different opinion. I'd be keen to hear them explain it.
That setup they had against Man City. Again, Rob, I wanted to be a footballer, but I ended up pouncing about in front of a camera with makeup on. I never made it onto the pitch
singing.
But the thing is, it looked to me that the setup was correct.
Yeah.
We had the players with the ability to execute that setup. He put evidence being Gordon, Willock, Alanga with that setup. Forward, I said Botman was really exposed when it broke down. And again, I don't know. Is it the mood of the fans? Does that have an effect on the game? Or is it just the mindset of the players? If they're not scoring, they're not winning, that has a profound effect on their ability to perform.
Yeah. I think it's all of those things. I think maybe sometimes Newcastle suffer because of the entertainers, and Keegan said this himself before, because the way we played and the way they want to see attacking football, but the game's changed, you know what I mean? I don't think Man City, we played any different to what we always play. We always sit back, and because we've got 2 really quick wingers, we try to hit them on the break. And that's so he doesn't change of that. That's the philosophy that Eddie's got. But as you say, Willock had a great chance. We had some good chances early on. If all of a sudden we'd score one of those.
Sure.
And the first goal, I felt so sorry for Dan Burn. He got a great challenge.
Yeah.
So that goal and the second goal was sort of like a ricochet.
Second goal was I found more infuriating than the first.
Yeah. So if those things haven't happened, football's strange. If those things don't happen, and Willock scores when he's through 1-on-1, well, all of a sudden we're in the game. So
Gordon had a lovely chance that didn't happen.
Yeah, but I do believe that I think. I don't know, you tell me, do the fans, the mood of the fans have a profound effect on a player's psyche? Like, if we're feeling uneasy, does that transcend through?
I think we went to. I think everybody went to the game, and if I'm being true, me included, thinking we can't win this. Mm-hmm. Last year when we played Arsenal, we could win this. with Bruno being missing and being 2-0 down.
Joe
Again,
Linton was out as well.
again, they scored
Yeah.
late in the game at St James's Park to make it 2-0. All of a sudden, now you played against one of the best teams in England, in the world, and we're 2 down before we start. We ain't got our captain, and I think everyone's going, "Ooh," I would guilt with that myself. I didn't think we had any chance. I thought if they score early, which they did, we're done. And
Where do you stand on Eddie, Rob? Because I'm getting the sense Robson's kind of in the
I love him.
same boat as me.
Love him.
Eddie in rather than out. What's your view, Rob? Is
My-
he the man long term for us?
Well, I think so, but I don't think anyone's long term anymore. I think the days of Alex Ferguson staying 20 years are gone. I think people, fans, owners want change every now and again. I think he's doing a great job. I think you're saying we've had a poor season. Hang on, we're still 11th. We could still get into the top 4.
Yeah.
We're still in the Champions League.
Yeah.
We're still in the FA Cup. I know that
We'll
can
just
all-
have
I
to
know
win
that
the
can all
Champions League, Rob.
change,
We'll
can't
just
it?
win the Champions League.
All of a sudden, if we do, I'm not saying we will, but if we do, it's a great season.
What, if we win the Champions League? Done right it is.
I ain't gonna miss that. I'm not watching that one on my phone.
Robson's taking another BBC job. This headline.
No, I'm
Green
not.
quits BBC.
I'm off to San Sebastian in Spain, the Basque country. I'm playing a serial killer. But if we in the Champions League final, I'm watching it on my phone.
Serial killer turned nice.
That's right. Where's Robson?
So we've got a decent draw next round. We've got a decent draw. And after that, we could play Chelsea. We've beaten Chelsea's before. So
True.
you don't know. I mean, that's football. That's what everyone loves, football, because
Yeah.
it can change.
But here's the thing. In my job, and I don't know how you guys deal with it. Again, it's all about mindset and how you're feeling. And as an actor, everything is confidence, it's self-belief and ability of delivering a line and having the ability to just stand up and I'm going to tell this story. What we don't have is when people are watching every minute of my performance, they're not going, "Oh my God, what's he doing with his arm there? What's he doing with his, why has he moved his head to the left?" and everything like that. There's not this dissection over a 90-minute period of my ability to be an actor, because there is a team that will support and make me look half decent as an actor. With footballers, with the fans and everything, we deconstruct you within seconds.
Why is he
And we write you off.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't that long ago that I witnessed 25 minutes when Newcastle played Southampton in the semi-final of the League Cup. Sadly, we lost it to Man U. But
Yes, a couple of
that's
seasons ago.
at St James's Park. That first 25 minutes, we could have beaten anyone in the world. And when Eddie was interviewed, he said, "That's where I want to be."
Yeah.
He said, "That's where I want this team to be." And
We did it
that's
again
why
this season in the first half against Chelsea.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
And then we disappeared in the second half. And it was,
Agree.
what are we doing? You're so right. We have flashes of just, it really works. You see what Eddie's doing on the training ground. You
Yeah.
see what he's telling the players. And when they follow his instructions properly,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, there we are. Oh, we're really, really good. It's just we haven't sustained that once, actually, across 90 minutes yet. Sometimes we've done enough in the times we've done it to go on and win the game, but we haven't done it for 90
Yeah, but
minutes.
a lot of it's
game
about
in,
luck,
game out.
though. I mean, people don't. When I say that, everyone goes, "Oh, luck." But it is, because a lucky ricochet, and all of a sudden you're not playing well, and you're 1-0 up. All of a sudden, it's like you say, Rob, your confidence goes up. Hang on, we're winning here. And now you start. Oh, I'll get on the board.
Do you still get confidence from a lucky goal, Rob?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get any goal. As Alan Shearer always tells me, any goal. He don't scare if he scores from a yard out or 40 yards out. He said a goal's a goal. So if he takes penalties and free kicks, and a goal's a goal. And so you could be what we had, and I think that's the difference. If you've got a goal scorer, I've always said this: if you've got a goal scorer in your team, as we had Alan, we had Andy Cole, we had Les, Peter Beardsley. If you've got goal scorer in your team, no matter how badly you're playing, if all of a sudden it goes up the red and he gets a goal, now you're 1-0 up. And now your confidence goes, wow, we're actually winning here, by the way. There's nothing like giving you confidence like a goal.
It's that classic commentator's line, isn't it? Against the run of play.
Yeah.
That's that classic thing. We'll watch a team on the up, and some jammy goal scorer from the opposition takes a random shot and it gets lucky. You're right.
Well, you look at
Blooming
everyone
luck.
goes, when it
Robson,
goes,
that's
everyone
it.
goes-
We've cracked it. Luck.
everyone goes, what noise when everyone goes, yeah, we're 2-0 up. Oh, it's a 2-0 up. That's a dodgy score. You think, hang on, we're 2-0 up. But as soon as they get a goal, all of a sudden their confidence goes fly. Your confidence comes down. All of a sudden, the amount of people that get caught 2-0 up. But you think that's great. I'm 2-0 up, but
Well, it was
people
that
get
with Southampton, and I saw an interview with Alan Shearer, and he said, "There's no better feeling than scoring a goal." And he said, people ask me, is it the best feeling in the world? And he says, I'm here to tell you, it is the best feeling in the world. Is it the best feeling in the world?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. It's an
What's
amazing.
the closest thing to? I mean, let's get graphic. Is it better than sex?
Well, it depends who we're with.
Okay, so for the record,
Exactly.
my partner, football's not better than sex,
Exactly.
darling.
No.
Okay, love you. See you soon.
I don't need to score a goal.
That's right.
I'm very, very happily retired, actually.
I'm still married to the same woman, so yeah. Sex is great, love. It was Andy who said it was. He's never scored a game to change his part.
I've never had sex with your wife either, Rob. Just for the record.
Yeah, you'll be lucky. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's an unbelievable feeling, and everyone asks all the same. What's it like scoring? You can't describe it. It's just like a, you know what I mean. You get a goal, and it could be a tap in, it could be it doesn't matter. As soon as you start running off and they're singing your name and your hairs in the back of your neck come up, and it's just the euphoria that you keep for at least 15 minutes while the game's going.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The dopamine's going through the system like that. Is it?
Yeah.
Robson, what's the acting equivalent of a
There isn't.
of scoring a goal?
There isn't.
Well, like award nomination or award winning,
I've
or
had a few in my time for reasons best known to the people who've nominated me, but I've had a few. I mean, the nearest I've ever had, I was nominated for a BAFTA for a show for Reckless, and there was 9 of us on the table, and we were all nominated for different things. I was with Paul Abbott, I was with Dave Richards, director, Paul Abbott, the great writer, Dave Richards, and there was 9 of us on the table. We were all nominated. Nobody won.
Table of
It
Doom.
was like a
Oh
mob.
no!
But it's the nearest, and it's your peers.
You know,
It's your
it's just
peers.
as well nobody won, Robson. Because imagine if one person won and 8 didn't.
Yeah.
You'd be hating
Yeah,
the guy that
that
got-
would
you'd
be-
like,
that would
oh,
be like
really,
Robson
really
and
happy
Patrick
for you.
Maxwell. Yeah.
Right.
You got to get your
There
face
is
on.
no, there is no. That's why I love football.
But there's not
That's
like
why I go a lot. That's why I need it. That's why I watch it. I've got a place in the Philippines with my partner, and we were going over there. And I'll set up and watch it at 4:00 in the morning because of the time difference. I'm there, and it's 2:00 in the morning, irrespective of the time, because I need that dopamine.
you can't miss a game, can you?
No, I can't miss a
No.
game. No, you can't.
But,
And that's
surely
why
when you put, when you do one of your great shows and it comes out and everyone loves it, surely you must think, wow, that's.
But it's not
That's-
going crazy when it's not one of the biggest reactions I ever had, ironically, was when Isak scored a goal against Arsenal to qualify for the League Cup. Then we
Who's
went
the,
on to win
sorry?
it.
Who was the player?
Isak.
Who?
No,
We don't,
Sorry,
we don't mention
we don't mention
We
that
don't
name.
mention.
don't remember him. Who was it?
I know. We can call it.
Was he? I love.
It's all right. I love that.
I love
He's-
that we scored.
He's left
Once
his
he's
house.
gone.
Of course, he left his house. He's been burgled 3 times. But I remember. But it was. I just lost it, and I was with my brother. We were hugging. Everyone was hugging all the fans, as you do, and we're waving to the Arsenal fans. We really got. It'd been disallowed.
Oh.
We're still going nuts. And so when we finally did score, it was like the strangest. All the dopamine had been exhausted. But there is no equivalent in my industry that is the same as going to the football game. But it is about, as an actor, what I do in front of the lens. I'm playing a serial killer. I'm not a serial killer. I'm playing a
Thanks for
functioning
qualifying.
alcoholic. I'm playing a functioning alcoholic in the next show. I've just finished playing a detective in a series called Grantchester. Been 78 murders in the
I was
beautiful
gonna say, 'cause it's a
quintessentially
long-running show,
long-running
Robson.
show.
Yeah.
In Grantchester, this quintessentially English village of where there's a murder every 5 minutes. 78 of those murders have been solved by a vicar. So it makes me the world's worst television detective.
But on the flip side, the house prices are really low right now. So
I'd go there tomorrow if it wasn't for the body count. But it's again, there's, and I get highs and I get validation from what I do. But what I do is I fake sincerity in front of the lens. And if you can do that really well, you cracked it as an actor. I speak my truth in front of the lens. I pretend to be other people and I suspend disbelief. So in the end, in my job, I'm not really me. But when I go with my friends
Right,
to the
yeah.
football game, to something that makes complete and utter sense. I do television. I've done a lot of theatre. I've done movies and stuff. But when you go to St James's Park, or when you go to, I was at QPR game against Coventry recently. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. And QPR won, and Coventry were top of the league, and it's all great. But there is no comparison to the feeling of belonging, identity, sense of place, sense of worth, sense of purpose, and who you are. And you've got, I mean, I don't know, do you know why we're called Geordies? Do you know why Geordies are called Geordies? Do you know why Geordies are called Geordies?
No, good question.
Let's hear it.
So there you go. So I'm from a mining culture, and my dad used to spend most of his life underground on his knees, and sometimes he'd carry a lamp, and that lamp was designed by George Stevenson, and miners in the northeast coalfield were the only ones who used that lamp. Everyone used the Davy lamp, the famous Abby Davy lamp, but this was the George Stevenson lamp, and the nickname for George is Geordie, and the lamp was known as a Geordie, and that's why we're called Geordies, and that's where that whole identity comes from. You know, it was a city built on hard work, and when people say, "Who are you?" You know, who's Robson Green and everything, I go, "I'm the son of a miner, and I'm a Newcastle fan." That's it.
That's all you need.
That's all
Yeah,
need.
that's all you need.
Put that on my passport.
Yeah.
And my
That's all you-
tombstone.
that's all you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because what you give us is identity, is worth. I love my job, don't get me wrong, but what football gives me is something else. It gives me a real centre.
But what about when you were doing the singing and stuff?
Sorry about that.
I know, but you played in front of all the big crowds. I mean, didn't that give you the same sort of, or was it
But you
dread?
can remember, I was old and kids were screaming, and I didn't encourage it. We did it.
Rob's
gig.
trying to get you to sing here, Robson. You know, that's where this is going.
Rob's the lead now.
He just wants to
and
do a
then,
duet.
Robson, can you sing Over the Hills and Far Away? I remember we were doing this gig in the Docklands. There's 20,000 there, and we're supporting. Take that I've just been on. Alice Cooper's been on singing, you know, School's Out and Hello Hooray, and then me and Jerome come on going, hey home, hey home, and I'm going, just think of the money, think of the money, mate, think of the money. And the dry ice is on. We couldn't see a thing. And there was a girl, and we had some real grounders with the singing. And there was this girl, and she lifted her top up, and I went, here we go, rock and roll, here we go. And she had a T-shirt underneath which said, Robson and Jerome are a load of old bollocks. But you know,
that down to earth.
the good thing was when we stopped, there were many kind of signs that were telling us to stop, but there was this moment, this defining moment when I went, yeah, I'm not singing anymore, was when there was a program called Animal Hospital.
I remember that.
So the singing act was called Robson and Jerome. And we had quite an eclectic mix of fans. And there was a woman came on Animal Hospital with 2 guinea pigs. Guess what they were called? And when asked, what seems to be the problem with your guinea pigs? She went, it's Robson, he's not right. Robson, the guinea pig, died.
Oh, no.
On it.
Oh, dear.
And then not long after that, I went, no, that's a message. I've got to stop the singing. Not long after that, this lovely woman, a neighbour of my mother's, and my mum's still alive, and her name was Joyce. And she went, hello, Mr. Green, I love your music, and I got your CD. I got it free with a chicken at the supermarket. And she said, mind you, me and my husband, we didn't care much for your music. So, but we used the CD cover under the fridge to stop the fridge from wobbling. And she thought she was paying me a compliment.
Wow.
I was like,
wow.
cheers. And I just went, I got to stop.
Yeah.
But, you know, Wonderwall was never number one.
Yeah.
Why? You're looking at it. There you go. How weird is that?
I mean, you weren't asked to support Oasis on their comeback.
No. How weird is that?
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that was the nuts time. And like that, you know, I'm sure there's been scenarios in the footballing world that is quite surreal. But when you're on stage singing in front of Michael Jackson, Tina Turner, Elton John, David Bowie, Bon Jovi, who were looking, they were jet lagged, going, "Who's these 2 nuggets?" We're number one for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's just an extraordinary time. But again, the high was never as great as you scoring the hat-trick, Rob, in Antwerp, and Espria scoring his hat-trick against Barcelona, Shearer the goal against Chelsea, pushed Desailly off, and Boosh gets in. The win at Southampton, of course, Dan Burn was a man for whom it was so obviously written. And it continues. I was at the 4-3 against Leeds. I went nuts.
What a
man.
game.
When
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes got that fall.
What a game.
That was
it's
like the
not-
old days.
it's-
Yeah, that was fun.
That was like
It's
the old
not
days.
all bad, man.
No.
It's
No, I'm
all
not saying
bad.
it is.
But we
Yeah.
know when the fans get at Eddie Howe, and I'm sure there was times. Oh, I don't think there was times during the entertainers. You were
No,
that good.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't ever
But-
been getting too much.
You know,
It turned. I
Even
don't
when we lost-
remember it
even when we
ever
lost
turned on
the-
Keegan. There were times when it turned on Dalglish. There were times when it turned
Never
on.
turned
Yeah.
on Keegan.
The Sir Bobby thing still sits wrong with me as well, with the Kieran Dyer stuff, and how he was handed out. That still doesn't
Is
sit
that
right
right?
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't know what your take is on that, Rob, but it still makes me feel uncomfortable thinking about how we treated Sir Bobby at the end.
Yeah. Again, I'd left by then, so I didn't.
You stopped caring. You
stopped.
checked out. Didn't give a shit,
Yeah.
Andy. To be honest.
Well, I was watching from afar. But
Yeah,
Then, so I didn't know too much about. You know what I mean? So it's yeah.
He was
Bobby was
He was
brilliant.
brilliant.
Do you remember what is his first home game as a manager? We played Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
We beat them 8-0. How many did Shearer score?
5.
5?
Yeah.
How much dopamine was
You know,
going
I
through
remember
his
that
system?
there was a young lad playing called Paul Robinson, and Alan had got 4, and Paul was only like May's second game, and we got a penalty, and he had the audacity to try and take the ball off of that.
That's right.
And you can just sit there going, and he put it down and scored his 5th line.
Because I think 5 was going to make him the record-breaking all-time most goals from one player in a Premier League game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
right?
joint
I think
record,
there was another one that had already done 4, but no one had done 5. Yeah, I remember that game like it was
Matthew
yesterday.
McDonald scored 5, but that was against Cyprus, wasn't it?
That's it for England. That was, yeah.
Yeah, this was in the Prem. Robson, I mean, all the success and the amazing adventures and the stories you've had, not just the acting, of which we've got to talk about properly, by the way, but also the presenting, the love letters that your shows are, walking Hadrian's Wall and going to all the different corners of the Northeast that are so special, and you've been bringing them to life for people on screen and so on. All this amazing stuff you've done in your career, which is littered with highs and wonderful things. If I offered you the opportunity, right, to play for Newcastle United once, and you get to score a goal, but it's not the winner, but it is scoring a goal in a Premier League game for Newcastle, but you don't have any of the career you've had, would you swap it?
Are you mad? How much am I paid for scoring a goal? Nothing.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, you only get that one single high.
Oh, come on, Andy.
It's a tough question.
It's
for
a
Geordie.
good one, though.
You've got to ask
It's
it,
a
haven't you?
good one.
For Geordie.
Do you know what? I can't answer it fundamentally because when I go to St. James's Park, something triggers a mechanism in my brain that tells me I'm in the right place. And when I'm filming a TV series about Northumberland with the likes of Alan Shearer, Les Ferdinand, and all the other amazing guests I've had on, celebrating and showcasing the Northeast, an area of which you love, again, it triggers a mechanism within my brain that tells me I'm in the right place. It's still not an answer to your question, but do you know what? I probably would.
Yeah?
I probably would if I could score that because but would I experience the dopamine that he gets?
Yeah,
Okay.
of
yeah,
course. You're scoring a goal in the Premier League at St. James's Park for Newcastle United. In the
It's-
black and
it's-
white.
it's
You're running
football.
out in black and white. You're not coming on
football.
as a sub. You're starting the game. You got green on the back and everything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You might
Excellent.
even have a chant.
And what would be my chant?
Oh, I don't know. What position? What position?
Robson Green.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
Right.
You've not thought about this at all, have you?
You get me singing that every night.
Do I score with my head? Or do I score
Well,
with-
do you? You tell me. I would have thought you were a right footer, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Let's say a right foot free kick
Yeah, 25.
over the wall.
No, volley, man.
Your volley?
Cross, yeah. Yeah, on the volley.
He-
25 yards
he's
out.
dreamt
top
this a
right
few
hand
times,
corner.
hasn't
He's given it some
Well,
thought.
I did play. I mean, and I played with Andy Sinton. I played with Andy Sinton, and I used to just kept getting.
Why have I never seen you
substituted.
play any of the charity games?
Sorry?
All the big charity
I did. I
games.
was asked. Yeah, I megged Keegan.
Did you?
I did meg Keegan. Yeah, it's in James's Park. Yeah,
We wouldn't
I
be
was
able to do that,
megged.
would we?
That's something.
But I was also, I think, Papa and Bolly were playing, and they went by me like gazelles. But there was some really good. And again, I was substituted, so it was like Vietnam flashback again. But yeah, I loved playing. I loved
Yeah.
playing. I just wasn't good enough. I didn't have like that. This fourth and fifth instincts that where players were, and just the ability to create space. I was never able to do that. I did a lot of running.
That's half the battle,
I
isn't
did
it,
a
Rob?
lot of running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
need to run.
We're going to get into the acting in just a second, I promise. But one of the things we like to do on this show is first worst and favourite 3. So your first memory of Newcastle United, your worst memory of Newcastle United, and your favourite 3 memories of Newcastle United.
Amazing. Well, it has to be my my first experience of that amazing
The Super
piece of
Mac
theatre.
hat-trick.
Super Mac hat trick. The worst.
Yeah.
The worst was when I was with Dad. It was against Man City, and we'd done a thing, both of us, and it was during a really bad time. And you know, I don't want to call them the Ashley years or whatever you want to call them. It was
They
just
were
during-
dark
it was-
days.
they
They were dark days. Yeah.
And we'd done a thing we'd never ever done before since the age of 6, which was we left before the final whistle. And I never do that. We've done it.
That says everything, doesn't it? If you've walked
we
out.
left before the final whistle.
Oh dear.
We left before the final whistle. And favorite, of course, it was we won the league. We won the League Cup, and it was everything afterwards. So I have these go-tos. I have a happy place if things aren't going well and stuff. I don't know what you do. I have a thing, and I'll watch movies that really cheer me up. And I think one of the greatest trilogies ever written is Toy Story. I think it's absolutely
wonderful.
brilliant.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 are fantastic. I will watch
Great.
all 3 in one. Fantastic. I'll also watch Tropic Thunder,
Yeah.
and I now watch Newcastle United winning the League Cup. That's my happy place.
Love it.
And like, I will watch it again and again, and the feeling is exactly the same, and it's never diminished. It's still as beautiful as it was on that day. So yeah, again, I'll take that to my grave.
I've rewatched it more times than I
Yeah.
couldn't to start with. I was so sort of emotional because when we won it, I was immediately I was super numb. I was so conflicted in my emotions because we'd hosted Adopted Geordies live at Box Park beforehand. So I'd had that dopamine fix of 5,000 Geordies live doing a show with all these legends, and it was wonderful. And then we're from there straight to Wembley, final starts. You know, Dan Burns' header was amazing. And then someone else scored, can't remember who. And it was absolutely, and it just, I was totally thrown. And then I had to get my kids involved. I told you about FaceTiming them with being part of the fans and everything else. And then I was totally done emotionally.
Yeah.
And then we went to the after thing with the players and with Eddie and stuff, which was the most privileged ever, where we got to hang out with the winners afterwards at this after party. And I couldn't face watching, even though we'd won it, I couldn't face that kind of volley of emotion. For 3 or 4 days, I couldn't watch it. And then I was watching it every day on repeat, for about a month. I was just every day I was watching it in full, reliving it. And I was on this crazy high for a very long time. And now, I still watch it every month.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's on keep. It's on keep on the old Skybox.
Brilliant.
It has to be. But anyway, let's come back to. I'm so sorry, Robson. We've taken all these
Don't
tangents. I
apologise.
keep promising to talk about acting.
Yeah,
We don't.
hurry up, man. It's getting dark.
What's that?
Me and
we've been
Robert
chatting
grow
away.
beards. Keep cutting back to Andy. Cut back to us with skeletons. Get on with it, Andy.
Need to make you a cup of tea. Right. So you're a young lad in the Northeast. You played football with Andy Sinton, but you weren't a great footballer. So where did it happen for you? Where did acting come from? And then Casualty was the first big break, wasn't it? So talk us through that journey for you.
My mother and father had great taste in film and television. We got to remember it was a time when there was 3 channels, so we watched quality drama. But I used to go to the cinema a lot. And the first film I ever saw that had a profound effect on me was Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And the bed
Yes.
took you to this other world.
Yeah.
The cartoon, Kuna, Matoide, Decorum, Satan D. Angela Lansbury was it was just amazing.
Right.
So it was just, and it was a world that I wanted to stay with. And when I came out, again, you watch football, I felt really good. I just felt, I found comfort in watching movies. And then I started watching in movies like Paul Newman, Cool Hand Luke, and Hood, and then actors like Montgomery Clift. And I was looking at the reaction from the women who were watching these guys, and I thought, hey, if you're an actor, you're guaranteed a girlfriend, like, and maybe a shag.
Which is almost as good as scoring a goal, apparently. So,
so it was my mum and dad's taste in television. I used to go to the theatre a lot as well, and then I ended up going to the cinema on my own, and then I saw Jaws, and then I saw Star Wars, and I was just entering this window into a world of science fiction, of drama, of relationships. And sometimes I was looking at a mirror about my life. And then I'd watch things like Boys from the Black stuff, which was amazing. Alan Bleasdale play. And then I just went, do you know what? I wonder if I could, you know, do something like that. Because at school, I was in Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. I always had this ability, and I don't know where it came from, to tell stories. Might come from my grandmother. She was a great raconteur. Dad was, while he was in the mine, he'd go to the clubs, and Dad was a great singer. So I kind of had that, but I didn't have a theatrical background.
Hmm.
And then I was able to kind of replicate what Newman was doing and what Montgomery Clift was doing, and the mannerisms of Elizabeth Taylor and how they would approach storytelling, and Richard Harris, and watching lots and lots of films of great actors. So I watched a lot of television and I watched a lot of movies. And then I was in a play at school called Dracula Spectacular, in which I played zombie number 2. And a guy called Max Roberts came to see that. And Max, at the time, was the artistic director of the Live Theatre Company on Newcastle's quayside. And he saw me as zombie number 2. And he thought, I think that guy looks like he's got the ingredients to be a performer. And he asked me to join a youth theatre. So I left school. I started working in a shipyard as a draftsman. And I ended up being a naval architect. I worked in hull design. But every hour I had spare, I'd work on scripts and do local plays with Max at the youth theatre. And during my time at the youth theatre, I was in a play called Bandits, and a casting director called Jane Arnell saw me in Bandit, and then she saw me in another play called The Long Line, and Jane Arnell was casting a thing called Casualty. And I was in a shipyard at the time, this is 1986, and she went, would you like to audition for Casualty? I think you have the ingredients to actually survive. And Max said, I think you've got the ingredients to survive. And he always said to me, you will now not be able to move for advice, but just trust your instincts. I did the audition. I got Casualty. Jane Arnell was then casting Soldier, the thing and everything.
Wonderful.
And then I did Reckless and everything. And then the career didn't stop. But it was just in those years of growing up in this pit village and loving television and cinema.
So did you ever, when Casualty came, obviously you were asked to audition, which is a huge boon. It comes back to the confidence thing that Rob was talking about. But when you started on set, first week, first couple of days, did you have incredible imposter syndrome? Did you think, hang on, I'm a young lad from the Northeast, I should be building boats?
Of course.
Did you?
I talked to Sam Fender about this as well. And I talked to a lot of actors from the Northeast. It's because you don't have that world. I don't know if your parents were in the football.
No, not at all. No, I was the first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I was, I suffered terribly from it. And especially on my first week of filming in Casualty, I had scenes with Brenda Fricker, and she just won an Oscar for my left foot. So I'm like, oh God. But she couldn't have been nicer, more generous, caring and nurturing. And I was surrounded by people who cared and wanted me to do well and supported, like Keegan, that you play, and Brenda Fricker. Never said it, just reminded me. Brenda went, "You're going to survive. You're going to make it. You're going to do well. You're going to be a star." And I went, "No, I'm not. But I just want to survive and I just want to pay bills. But it's very kind of you." But she says, "No, you've got what it takes to survive. You'll be acting for the rest of your life. You've got it. You've got the ingredients. You're just doing things that are different." That hark back to a 1950s approach to acting. I mean, I just know a lot about lenses. I know a lot about the principles of photography. I know a lot about grading and what to wear. And I've got blue eyes, so I know how to key into a lens and stuff like that. So I know all these tricks that I learned from Paul Newman and Montgomery Clift. So and then Brenda just went, you've got it. You've got the ingredients to survive. And that really, really helped. That really helped.
Yeah.
And, but still, even today, I'm doing a thing with Jason Watkins, who I think is an amazing actor. And I know that first day in Spain with Jason, and even though we've worked together, I'll be nervous because I think he's amazing. And I think I'm not as good as you, and I don't really belong here, and you've done Shakespeare, a lot more Shakespeare than I have, and all that. But yeah, you still get it. But I think that helps in a way because you care.
But everything you've just said there, Robson, speaks to something which is the opposite of what Rob was saying about sometimes winning a football match, right? Rob used the word luck. And a lot of people think actors get where they get from luck. But what you've just said, alluded to about understanding lenses and the Paul Newman studying and so on and so forth. Sure, there might be a degree of fortune because right place, right time. But it's not luck because you've put the shift in. You've studied, you've mastered the craft.
Yeah, 100%. I never say I'm lucky. I always say I'm fortunate, because when the opportunity came along, be it an audition or be it an offer, I was prepared for it. I was prepared for it. I put the graft in. And a lot of people call me one of the hardest working actors because I just graft, and I replicate the lines. I'll do an hour on, half an hour off, an hour on, half an hour off. I'll work and I'll work and I'll work, and I've got a film company, and I want to employ people, and I want to instill that work ethic. But not in a way that it's an unpleasant experience, but just, instill the work ethic. And I think from that the results will come. And I will come on set, I'll turn up on time, I'll know my lines, and I'll have an idea that I've not told anybody about.
Nice.
So there'll be a little surprise in the scene. But I'll turn up on time, I'll know my lines, and I'll have an idea that'll surprise someone.
Turn up on time.
Yeah, all right, that's the trains, Rob. It was the trains. Rob was cross because I was a little bit late for coffee earlier. He won't let me forget it.
What Bob Robson always used to say.
Yeah, you did.
What? Yeah. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. And to be late is unacceptable.
Yeah.
He always used to say
Nice.
He's texting me this when my trains are getting cancelled.
I love that. I'm going to use that. And they'll go, oh, did somebody say that? I went, no, that's from me.
Always used to say.
I think we've just had an insight as to why you haven't made it as a footballer, though, Robson. Because you, to be honest, your timing's all wrong. You work hard for 60 minutes and take 30 off. It's a 90-minute game with a possible 10 minutes of extra time.
Yeah, there you go.
You've got to put the shift in. We've got a couple of questions for you from our co-host who's down under right now, the Newcastle Brown Male, he calls himself. He's the comedian Raoul Coley, and he's recorded a couple of really interesting questions that I've been deliberately trying to avoid to make sure that he asks them and not us.
Hey, Robson, Raoul Coley here, NUFC Supervan and the Newcastle Brown Male, reporting from a 30-degree Australia on a very lovely day at the beach. Not a ghost in sight. Now, speaking of ghosts, the Northeast you have written and talked about extensively is a very haunted area. What do you think it is about that area that makes it so haunted? Question number 2. Rude Hullet famously believed the club was haunted and even got priests to try and exorcise it. I mean, it is built upon an execution site, hence the name of the Gallagher. Do you believe the club is haunted like many others, and why?
Ghosts in the Northeast. Is the club haunted?
Is the club haunted?
Yeah.
Is the club haunted?
No, I don't think so. I think Rude Hullet talks rubbish as usual.
Yeah, what was Rude smoking at the time? Come on. There was obviously something illegal going on. Is the club haunted? Ghosts from the past. It's got spirits, but they're good spirits. It's got spirits. There's the spirit of Jackie Milburn, the Robledo brothers, Hughie Gallagher, all those greats. Malcolm MacDonald. He's still alive. Sorry. No, the spirit's there. Good spirits.
So our very own sausage Raoul, as he also calls himself, he's being dismissed there. Robson Green's going, no,
no, mate.
Dismissed.
Not having
ridiculous.
Dismiss him.
Not having it.
And that
right.
was not Australia, that was North Shields.
We're going to do some rapid fire Robsons, if that's all right. I've been making a few quick ones. You can answer these as quickly as you can, but there's also no rush. So I think we already know the answer to some of these. First hero you remember, you've already said Malcolm MacDonald, so we'll take that one.
Okay.
So this one, you're allowed to hesitate on this one. Sir Bobby or Kevin Keegan?
Oh,
I know. Well, that's why you're allowed to hesitate.
Tough questions coming up.
I know what he'd say.
Bobby Robson came to my 40th birthday. He was so kind. He was so nice. I love Bobby Robson. Kevin Keegan.
All right.
Exactly what I was saying. Exactly what I was saying. Yeah, love
James's
Bobby,
Park on a European night or a packed Grantchester set?
What? Are you mad? Are you mad? Of course. Yeah. Of course it's Grantchester. Not. No, it's St James's Park.
Favourite Newcastle chant? Apart from the Robson Green one that you've already done for us.
We've got Maradina. He's not from Argentina. He's from Brazil.
Good old days. First Brazilian.
Yeah. They
Never
the chance.
ever completed a game.
Did he not?
You never completed a game.
Did he not?
No. Mickey Quinn told me that.
Did all right.
Yeah, he never completed a game.
I love him.
Some of these, I feel like you've already answered. Black and white stripes or army green fishing gear?
It's a good shout, man. Good shout, but it's got to be the black and white.
Okay. Goal that still gives you goosebumps.
Goal that still gives me. That's a great one. That's a great one. It's Shearer against Chelsea. Pushes Desailly off. Gets the Desailly. He pushes.
Yeah,
it.
Marcel Desailly. Yeah.
Spins it.
Just top right hand corner. Stunner. Me and my dad went nuts. Me and my dad went crazy.
Love
I
that.
cherish that goal. Yeah.
Would you swap one hit TV series for a Newcastle trophy?
Oh, of course. Which TV series? I had quite a few hits.
You did. Well, let's,
Which is your favourite?
TV series.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's interesting. Reckless, because it was with Michael Kitchen and Francesca Annis, and it was written by Paul Abbott. It was fantastic. But listen, I've done many, many TV series. But my favourite theatre production was a thing called Come Snow, Come Blow, in which I played Atwood Ruddy, who lived in a constant state of misunderstanding with his bachelor brother, Ivan. And Atwood was training for the Morpeth to Newcastle road race, but was disqualified for catching the bus. That was, and it was a brilliant play written by Leonard Barris. Absolutely brilliant. I did the live theatre. Max Roberts directed it. That was great. But no,
Come Snow, Come Blow.
Come Snow, Come Blow.
This one leans into the name of the show. Because obviously you were born in Hexham, raised in North Tyneside. Do you feel a born Geordie or an adopted Geordie?
Oh no, I was born in Hexham. I was born in Hexham.
That's what I said.
So no, Hexham's Northumberland.
Okay.
It's not North Tyneside.
Yeah, but you were raised in North Tyneside.
I was raised in North Tyneside. That's
Yeah.
where you were born. That's where
Okay,
it
fine.
all starts.
Fine.
North of the Humberland.
Love that you questioned the question then.
Northumberland.
I'll have it.
So what was
it
the
stands up to
question?
scrutiny.
Go on.
You were born in Hexham but raised in North Tyneside. Do you feel a born Geordie or an adopted
I'm a
Geordie?
born Geordie.
All right.
Yeah, I would fine.
My dad had the lamp.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm not disputing it. It's just a question. It's not. Look, it's not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You know.
Imagine a fight for it.
Hey, yeah. Why? You're saying I'm
What
not a
question's
Geordie.
that?
Come on. All right. What's the moment you realised I like this one? I was proud of this one. What's the moment you realised that Newcastle United wasn't just a football club? It was part of who you are.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. It was when Newcastle beat Burnley 2-0 to qualify for the FA Cup. Keegan scored against Liverpool. We got beat 3-0, but it was that game. And when McDonald scored those 2 goals and the defenders trying to pull him back, I was passed over the heads of the crowd. And that sense of belonging, it was just osmosis, man. I just thought, this is me. This is who I am. I will always do this for the rest of my life. So it was that game.
Amazing.
It was that game. It
Love
was
that.
extraordinary.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, you've answered a lot of these already, so I won't.
You've got very big thighs, Rob.
Yeah,
I've noticed that. What is it
right.
about footballers' thighs?
I know.
Yeah, they're like tree trunks. Even Shearer. Ginolas are massive as well.
All right, here's a couple more for you. Just-
Right.
Steady on.
Welcome to Thighs Talk with Robson Green. It's a new hit series. We'll be measuring thighs and calves for the next 25 minutes. If Newcastle United was a TV series, what genre would it be?
Great. Thriller.
Thriller.
Psychological thriller.
Occasionally a horror.
Psychological thriller. All about the mindset.
Love that.
Yeah.
Or it could be a
psychological
romance.
Yeah. Or a sitcom sometimes.
Yep.
Comedy.
thriller.
Well, with that in mind, staying with it, who's the leading man and who's the villain?
Are we talking actors who would play Rob Lee and Alan Shearer? Or are we talking players?
Oh, this is
the
open to
villain?
interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, who would play Rob Lee? Who would play Rob Lee?
Who would play
Brad
Rob Lee?
Pitt.
Oh, I
Brad
love
Pitt.
that, Rob.
Yeah,
Love it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Pitt.
Love that.
Brad Pitt.
Keep him talking, I'll make a phone call.
Yeah.
Deluded, like.
I reckon
Just
Who
said
would
it.
play Alan Shearer?
You what?
The bald Alan Shearer. Who would...
Jason Statham.
Oh, he'll love
Good
love that.
shout.
He will love that one.
Good shout.
Yeah.
That's too good for him.
It was long ago, Yul Brynner, but
Yeah, you'll yeah.
you.
Yeah, Westworld.
Yeah, it was.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what a
Magnificent
performance.
Seven, eh?
Oh, what
Hey,
a film
right.
that is.
Yeah. So who's the villain?
Rude Hullet.
Yeah, to you. Yeah.
The
Could
villain's
it be Mike Ashley?
Oh,
No,
No.
no. Whatever anyone thinks, no. It's got to be a player. It's got to be a player.
Oh well,
'Cause
hang
they
on,
just say-
well, there's an obvious one.
Because there are players.
I can't remember
Here
his
we
name,
go.
but-
Yeah. there are players who I truly believe don't understand what it means playing for this team.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that people don't tell them that. There are players who don't understand what it means to put that strip on and the heritage and the
Do you know,
history.
we don't talk about, we don't use his name on here because he came on here about a year ago, sat with Rob and I, and he had us convinced that he was in love with the club, smitten, on and off camera as well, talking about how much he loved it. And I personally am hurt and affronted by the way he behaved. And it's none of my business, but it's still, it feels personal, doesn't it, Rob? It's because he was so convincing to us.
There's always two sides to every story. And there's
Yeah.
always things you don't know are going on. I don't know. It might be totally that he was just totally like lied to us, but it also might be stuff going on in his life and things going on that maybe he was promised stuff. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It just seemed a really quick turnaround, didn't it?
We've identified the
There's
villain.
your villain.
Yeah. Okay. What's given you more peace over the years, nature or a last-minute Newcastle winner?
Yeah. Yeah. The last one, the 4-3 against Leeds, is Harvey Barnes. That was beautiful skill as well, and he had the composure and the mindset and confidence to put it in. Got the ball, jinked, turned, went in.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was stunning.
Yeah, we'd like a few more of those.
I'd still talk about it.
Yeah.
And
And it triggers that that joy.
It does. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, last one here from my rapid fire Robsons. And finally, I've written, and
Here
finally,
here we go.
where does Newcastle United sit in the story of your life?
Well, we talked about it before. It's who I am. It's what I've grown up alongside. That stadium is a theatre. It's been a huge part of my life wherever I go. What you've given to not only me, but my father and my family and the community, the joy you've brought us, the joy that you continue to bring us when we chat and we get those lovely memories. It's second to the birth of my son, Taylor. That's how important it is in my life. And you've changed things. Football changes things.
Yeah.
Look at how much colour we have on the field. Look at how much understanding we have. Look at what we're embracing of cultures and faith and all walks of life are within football. And the level of debate, I think, is going up. And I think the conversations are more elevated about football. With football changes a lot of things, not only on the pitch, but outside within the culture. And it means a lot to everybody. And for that, Rob, I thank you, man.
If anyone ever tries to say to us ever again, "Oh, it's only a game," but they just need to watch this episode. It's very clearly not only a game. That was my and finally, Robson. But we always finish the show with the captain. Although before I throw to the captain for his question, I have one more for you. And that is, there's a sort of osmosis going on here, which is, I obviously, I can reveal this now, I've been trying to get you on the show for a while because we've known each other for a little bit and it's a beautiful thing. And you've always been super busy. However, bless him, Dan Byrne reveals just a couple of episodes ago his genuine excitement and desire to meet you. I was elated to have made that happen. And we got you to meet and it was amazing. And actually, as a result of that, I think that's the reason why he's almost sort of handed the baton across to you as the guest. Now, you have name-dropped a couple of pretty well-known Newcastle fans. Yeah. I wonder if we can get you to pass the torch on to another guest, another famous fan that we could bring in. Is there someone that you could just send a text to say, you've got to go on this show, lads?
Have you had Brian Johnson on?
Oh man, I didn't think you'd go with that.
Johnson,
Brian Johnson would be
cracking. He always says hello. Yeah, he'd be amazing.
He would be.
Yeah, I sent him a message, delete. It's probably what Dan's done. Dan, it was great meeting you. Delete. That's show business. But,
no, Dan's been very, very positive about
it. Dan loves you.
No, we haven't had Sam. You mean Sam Fender?
Yeah. Sorry, Sam.
Sam Fender would be. Sam Fender.
See, that goes on. My question is, who's the most famous person in your phone book? And you can't say Alan Shearer.
I know, but I've got it.
I know you have.
Will you give me your number?
Definitely.
Excellent.
We're definitely swapping numbers.
Delete.
We are definitely.
No. Yeah, I've got Sam's. I've now got Dan's. I'm now going to have yours. I've got Alan's. Probably that. Yeah, these footballers. That's what it means. I've got a lot of famous actors on, but footballers.
Actor.
Yeah. Actor.
Most famous actor.
Where'd you go? I mean, James Norton.
Oh, that's pretty
Wow.
good.
That's good.
James
Yeah,
is
that's
pretty
good.
good. Yeah,
That's
James is
good.
going to fly. He's playing. He's doing the Beatles film with Peter Jackson at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Which
give you a
is
steer,
amazing.
Robson. What Rob is looking for, he's looking for somebody, and we haven't managed to do this yet, to trump his own son, who has Ryan Reynolds in his phone, obviously, because he's
Oh,
playing for
wow.
Wrexham.
Yeah, he's got a couple of good.
So that's the
yeah,
benchmark
yeah,
for Rob, isn't it? If you'd said Keanu Reeves, I think we probably would have topped him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
You
If
know-
you were, if you were talking about.
Oh, I tell you who came up on my phone many years ago, but for obvious reasons in the situation he's in now. But Bruce Willis.
Wow,
Mhm.
Oh, that's pretty-
yeah, that's a
That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
very
yeah. I
good.
did a thing called
That's
Touching Evil, and he ran Cheyenne Pictures, and he went over there and sat with him and Billy
Wow.
Bob Thornton. That was pretty special.
Yeah.
And
That's
William Friedkin as well, director, who's no longer with us, director of The Exorcist and The French Connection. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Blimey.
That was a pretty cool time.
See,
Yeah.
some good ones.
Yeah. I think we almost got Robson to say yes to texting Sam Fender for us, didn't we? We nearly got there. You'll find out in a couple of shows' time if it was successful.
I'll text Robson when I go home.
Who? Robson, I could talk to you for hours, and
Oh,
I
mate,
think Rob
so
could
good.
as well.
Yeah, very good.
It's just such a joy having you on. Thank you for coming on the show.
mate.
Thank you for being a big, big member of Adopted Geordies today. It's been absolutely incredible. Keep doing you. Also, can I just say, keep making the love letters to the Northeast.
Yeah,
because they cast the net. My parents talk about, oh, we used to go there all the time, and da-di-da-di-da, and it's just it's. I don't know how much of impact you realise it has, but to the people that care about the Northeast, it means everything. And to the people that don't know about the Northeast, it's a wonderful, passionate education. for
Let's
them.
remind everybody what a stunning and beautiful and life-affirming part of the world it is. And
Yeah.
you keep doing that and surprising people with it. It's beautiful.
It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
amazing. Thank you, Robson. And thank you to you guys for joining us today for this special episode of Adopted Geordies. Please leave your comments, your feedback, your 5 stars, your reviews, your follows, your shares, and so on. It is the currency that we trade in, and we do need you to keep us alive.
Yeah, I
Thank
need the
you.
publicity.
We'll see you next time. Away the lads.